What's up, everybody? This is just Lance here, bringing the brand new video. Today we're going to be talking about the top 10, I guess, it's not really in any order, 10, I guess 13 budget rogue decks that you could probably make that are still relatively decent for this format. So without any further ado, let us just jump right in. So first things first, we got to get some honorable mentions out of the way. This is the 3 decks this is the 13 decks part I'm talking about, but we're going to get right into it. First deck is Victories. Now, with the loss of Reasoning is actually a bigger loss than people might actually expect. I know that there's a Burning Abyss variant of this deck running around, but I don't think that's enough to make it still tier 2 or tier 1 status. So, additionally, I think that, however, I do believe that out of all the decks, this deck will get better in the future. Left Arm Offering is a card still, and Pot of Cupidity actually might add a bit of consistency back into the deck. It won't make the deck significantly better, but it adds a bit more consistency that otherwise the deck didn't have otherwise. So next up is Blackwings. Blackwings is the days of special summoning 2 level 4 monsters and then a Gale and then sinking for 7 is over. Although, that being said, Blackwings continue to get support, so I feel like mentioning them is a fair mention. The deck is still decent, I guess, and it's been popping up here and there every couple of events. So it's worth checking out if you're on a really tight budget. And next is Ray Raptors. Now, again, like Infernoids, this deck is probably only going to get better, but that's not saying much considering that for the most part, Ray Raptors have gotten the short end of the stick when they've gotten support and all that stuff. Most of the support that they've come out with is generally not particularly good. However, they do have access to great rank 4s. They have access to 4 strikes, and they're getting more support. Also, the Ultimate Falcon is coming out in Shining Victory, so that card is obviously going to make some waves. In some form or fashion. I'm pretty sure we'll see at least one Raid Raptor deck in the top 32 with being played. I think we'll see one at least this format. If not, we'll see a few. So let's go on to the actual list. Again, this is not in any particular order. I just feel like that all these are pretty equal in strength, I guess. Some just happen to be a bit more explosive than others. So let's just jump right into it. We're going to go from left to right. The rest deck up is PSY-Frames. Now, people might say that this is personal bias because I personally like this deck a lot, but this deck doesn't automatically lose to a lot of decks out there. It doesn't automatically lose to decks like Cosmos. It doesn't lose to Burning Abyss, and it doesn't lose to Monarchs, even under Domain. Because eventually your opponent's going to have to do something about to this deck. So, having the added ability to get rid of your opponent's domain at will with Overload, and getting rid of your opponent's tribute and monsters with the cards like Beta, cards like Gamma, and cards even like Alpha can prove to be very, very resilient. The grind game is very, very strong with this one, even though they don't run very many traps. The deck is also getting a lot of benefit from cards like from Drowning Mirror Force and Lose One Turn. So yeah, there's also a Yosenju variant as well. Next is Kaijus. I'm talking about like basically any variant of Kaijus: Great Old Kaijus, Yosenju Kaijus, Pure Kaijus. But I don't think this deck is going to do enough. Because tributing monsters on your opponent's board is generally bad, considering that they go to the graveyard. However, that being said, they do have a lot of really good boss monsters that if you can just get out by themselves is pretty good. Not to mention they're also getting new cards in the way of Thunder King and that anti-kaiju guy, and X-Files is also an amazing card. Next up is Satella Knights, probably the best deck on this list, I would say, because the deck is still strong. It has very good rank 4 stills. The rank 4 pool is not terrible anymore. It's still not terrible. It's not good, but it's not terrible. Triver is an amazing card. They have cards like Stellar Nova Alpha to counter out those big pushes, and they have they run a crap ton of back row that basically lets them survive longer. Next is Yosenja. I find this deck very comparable to Satellinets in very many ways. First of all, they can make really good boards. The rank 4 pool is very good. Lightning Chidori is an amazing card still. Having the ability to run cards like Drowning Mirror Force and Storming Mirror Force make this deck even better. So, yeah. Additionally, they have access to Beast Warrior synergies, such as Tenki and stuff. And so, yeah. Also, this deck can have easy accesses to making what's it called? Kinsella Diamond. Even though you probably don't even want that card in this deck, but it's still an option. Next is Madolches. Madolches have a very easy time against Cosmos, believe it or not. They also have a very easy time against Monarchs, even surprisingly. They have the best boss monster in the entire game, in my opinion, and that is I don't remember her name. Oh my gosh, this is so. I probably should have put this. Probably should have put that as the card to talk about instead of. Oh, Tiramisu. They have the best boss monster in the game. Tiramisu's the best monster in the game. But this having the ability that having the added effect that of Tiramisu does not target, and the deck can reliably do a lot of things on their own. Next is Gear. Probably maybe the second weakest choice next to Kaiju's on this list. This deck, not Madolches. Madolches are very good. This deck happens to be very, very slow, but the grind game is still there, and having the ability to run Machine Dupe and have it be very, very effective is still a very good thing. Geargain X is still a very good card. Also gadgets are coming out in the Dark Illusions, but this is for Shining Victory. They also get added benefits from cards like Heart of the Demise and all that stuff. So this deck is very good. This deck is very good if you haven't tried it. It's also very fun actually. Despots. The reason why I put Despot 4 here is because it's the best one. The Despots have are getting a lot of new support in the terms in the way of Shining Victories. They are getting a new field spell, which is absolutely nuts because it adds a bit more OTK potential with this deck. Also, the rank 4 pool, which this deck can utilize, is very good. Despot Jet is still a very, very good synchro monster. And they have access to pretty much any synchro monster in the game, except for maybe the ones that are type or name specific. So, yeah. Next up is Mermail, and I guess I can lump Abyss in this, like Mermails and Atlanteans, because Atlanteans are basically the same deck. They're basically the same deck. This is probably the more combo oriented deck on this list, but it's a very good deck regardless. And it has a lot of grind potential, and it also has a very good rank 4 to rank 7 pool. Draco Sack is still a very good card. Big Eye is still a very good card, even though it doesn't really do much against Cosmos in the way of taking monsters or destroying monsters. The deck is still very, very efficient at what it does, and what it does is making giant unbreakable boards. Next up is Magispector Raccoon. Or Magispector Raccoon, I guess, is part of this deck. Basically, having the ability to not be targeted or destroyed by opponent card effects is still very good. Which means even though this deck kind of loses to Cosmos, considering the fact that the majority of their monsters aren't very big, they still have access to very good rank 3 and 4s. Dante is not very good in this deck though, so it's not as efficient as Burning Abyss is. Next is Shiranui. Shiranui have the greatest synchro pool probably. Even though PSY-Frames have 7 and 8, so this deck has 6. This deck has 6 and 8s. Not to mention they have access to cards like what's it called? The Archfiend Zombie Skull, Revive King Hades, and Doom Kaiser Dragon, which is something that is very good. Not to mention the boss monster, the 3000 boss monster, is still very good. They're also getting card. They can also really effectively use Card of Demise very easily. So Yeah. So tell me what you guys think about this list, and tell me if there are any archetypes that you would like to see that to make this tier 2. Obviously, I probably forgot a lot of decks. Like for instance, I did forget heroes, but I did wanted to talk about something that's a bit unconventional. So yeah, tell me what you guys think about this, and I will see you guys in the next video. This has been Chanelot, and I am signing out.